Hi Jamil, how are you?
I'm very good.
Namaste from Nepal, Kathmandu,
Namaste.
and yeah, basically from Khabarhub news portal.
Happy to be with you today. Can you hear me
Yeah,
correctly?
sorry?
Can you hear me correctly?
Yeah, yes. Everything is clear. Your voice is also very clear now.
Good.
Yeah. So how are you?
I'm very good. Very happy to be with you today. I'm very
Yeah,
good.
sure. Same here. Same here. Thank you so much for the time, for giving for giving an opportunity like this. Like to talk to you. I think this is the first time that I'm talking to you.
I think it is, yes.
Yeah. So shall I start our conversation,
Yes.
Jamil? Sure. Okay. So let me ask you, what is the current status of Rakuten Viber in communication products, both globally as well as locally?
Look, Viber has been around for more than 10 years now. And it has been a fantastic journey. 10 years of growth, 10 years of stronger relationship with users around the world. Today we have 30 countries in the world where Viber is the leading app used by the vast majority of people. We are growing every year. Last year, we grew about 15% in terms of audience, and we grew about 30% in terms of revenue. The company is doing well on both sides, both audience and financially speaking. And when we look at Nepal specifically, we have a very nice and trustful relationship with Nepal. Nepal is part of the country that we're caring a lot because we have a very trustful relationship with Nepalese. It's about 10 million people in Nepal that are Viber users, and it's growing.
I
It's
think that's a
growing.
great number. 10 million people is a great number. It's a
Great
big
number,
number.
and I think it grew like close to 20% last year. So
Okay.
so it's a number where we see that people are more and more convinced that Viber is the best communication platform for them.
Yep. Also, but how has the current pandemic, COVID pandemic, impacted Rakuten Viber's like everyday, day-to-day work, innovation, market, and plans and planning?
The pandemic has, of course, hit us like every company in the world. And the first thing we did, obviously, was to protect our employees, to make sure that our employees were protected by this. And then we reorganized ourselves to be able to work from home in a couple of weeks.
Mhm.
But we also adjusted our strategy and roadmap to try to play our part in these incredible challenging times. First thing we did is to we understood quickly that people will use much more communication platform than before working from home. And there was one thing that was missing on Viber a year and a half ago. It was the video group calls, and so we quickly implemented video group calls. It was planned to be implemented at the end of 2020, but we implemented it at the beginning of 2020. And then video group calls and audio calls, that limitation has been extended. That was to make sure that Viber could be used in any kind of situation by people working from home for their
Mm.
family needs or for their professional needs or for their kids' needs for school, for example. And we saw this kind of usage a lot. The second thing we wanted to do is to make sure that on our platform, we would distribute the best news possible about the pandemic. We all know that there was so many fake news everywhere, and especially on Facebook, it has been a gold mine for fake news and spread of misinformation about everything. And it is still a place where fake news is propagating so fast. What we did is to make partnership with international organization like the WHO or local organization like local health ministry organization to make sure that on Viber you could find verified news about the pandemic, about the restrictions, about what needed to be done, about the protective measure for this, about vaccination. In some countries, we even supported the vaccination process by proposing with some local authorities some chatbots to to take an appointment for vaccination. So all this was very important to us, and this is something that we started, of course, to support and to play our role in these challenging times. And then we also thought that Viber in this context needed to be more important than only communication. So we started two type of journey. One type of journey is to allow our users to use Viber for financial services, to send money to each other, or to send money to some businesses. And we started in some countries, including Nepal, with a partnership with a small company called ECWA, a startup. With that, we allow with ECWA users to use ECWA to send money to each other. And we also did it in other countries. And we have some plans to roll out these features more and more in the future. And recently, the last one, we launched a fun feature in partnership with Snap. We integrated the Snap camera technology in our app, and now we are pushing some Viber lenses, which are the new features that young and more mature audience will be are able to use to send and produce and create funny content for their friends and families.
Yep, like as you said, like you talk about fake news. So do you think like do you have a mechanism to combat those type of fake news?
So we invest a lot in this topic.
Yep.
I'll be very humble on the topic because it's a cancer. It's a cancer for communication and social platform. And what you have to do when you're facing cancer, you have to fight and you have to find a cure. Doesn't mean that you're going to win the fight, but if you don't fight, you lose. That's for sure. What we see on other platform, it's that they don't even spend the money on the topic because they have an interest in the fake news. They have a very simple interest. We all know now that fake news spread 7 times faster than real news. So when you're like Facebook, for example, where your revenue is driven by the number of views and the number of clicks, it's your financial interest to let fake news spread out. At Viber, we don't have this type of revenue. So we want to protect our users and keep them safe. So we invest a lot of money to try to track those fake news. So what we do is it's a combination of technology and manual moderation. We've invested in artificial intelligence tools that will try to track communities, for example, where we would see some news that could be dangerous for users or reported by users. And we also we have some people trying to ping to be in this community to track those information. And it's not easy because we don't have the ability to sometimes the know-how to know if news is real or not. And that's a problem. We just don't know. If somebody says tomorrow that there is a new variant that is resistant to vaccine, who knows? Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. We don't know that. So the only thing we can do is to promote news coming from verified sources and build partnership with those news sources that are verified and that have some guarantee that it's coming from at least it has been treated and analyzed. And that's what we do in terms of to compensate this lack of knowledge. We make this partnership with organization like health organization, for example, or the type of organization, or with news portals that we know are investing enough to at least produce some news that are verified and analyzed, which sometimes are fake as well, but at least it's not because it's not an objective to make it fake. It can be a mistake. These kind of things happen. So nobody's perfect, but the only thing we can do to fight this is to invest in it and fight it. And if we fight it, then we can compensate 50, 60, 70, whatever percentage it is to protect our users.
Yeah, it's a tough job.
It's a never-ending battle. It's like it's that kind of battle that you would never stop.
Yeah, even in Nepal, like we have a lot of fake news going around particularly on Facebook. So even we Khabarhub, we have a fact check, category. So sometimes we do that even. So like you also talk about Viber Lens. So how will the Viber users benefit from these, like Viber lenses?
So it's very simple. In very soon in Nepal and progressively during the summer all over the world, in the Viber camera, you will have a section with lenses, and then you have we will have every day 30 to 50 lenses available, and we will have a very high frequency of refresh to have new lenses that you can use to produce a picture or a video or a GIF using those lenses. And those lenses will be there will be plenty of type of lenses, augmented reality lenses, beautification lenses, all the type of lenses that people are using. We know that the users are asking for more ability to produce fun content and to produce things that are a little bit out of the reality, and then a little bit reality a little bit augmented. And this is why we want to bring them ability to create things that are funny enough to be proud of, and to be proud of to be shared with your friends and families. And this is what we are going to do. And then for users, it's going to be very simple. Ability to create video images and GIF as a first step, and the second step will be to be able to create stories. So short video format, ability to create stories to be shared on Viber or even outside Viber actually.
Did I get the impression? I want to ask you. I don't know whether I got that impression. The coronavirus or this pandemic and the lockdown has, helped you increase the number of Viber users. Is it true?
It is true, yes. The biggest impact is the level of engagement of those users. It's true that our users are using more since the pandemic because in many countries people got stuck at home, so of course they spend much more time on their favorite digital platform. So we saw that, and yes, in some countries we saw some growth, but very honestly, the company is growing every year, and it's growing by two effects. First of all, because people are using Viber and are happy to use Viber, so they are basically inviting their friends and more friends, and then in some countries you also have more and more smartphone in circulation. So more smartphone, more friends drive more users. So the level of growth we saw last year in terms of number of users was more or less in the trend that we saw the last 3-4 years, but the level of engagement is faster.
Oh yeah, I think that's a good news. So with the increased use of messaging platforms such as in Viber, how is Viber's digital and private data privacy? Could you please tell something about this also?
Yes, so it's part of our DNA. It was more than 5 years ago now that we made a decision to protect our users from any risk of their communication be shared with anyone, and to make sure that this would not be some sort of promise that could disappear with the next CEO or any change at Viber. We architected our platform to make sure that it's possible. So we implemented by default end-to-end encryption for all calls and messages. So which means that every chat you have with your friends and families, or every calls you have with your friends and families, are fully encrypted end-to-end. The encryption keys are on the devices. The files go through our servers, but what we see at Viber is a file that we cannot read. It is very important to have that in mind, because it means that even if we wanted someday to start to look into the conversation for our users, we couldn't. And the second security we put in place is that once a message has been delivered, once a call has been done, we don't keep the content, we destroy it. It stays only on the devices. This is a very high protection. It means that even if Viber was hacked one day, I mean, we are fighting also. That's another battle that we have to fight every day for the rest of our lives. But even if we had that kind of problem one day, the hacker wouldn't find your conversation. They're on your phone. So this is something which is very important, because by doing this, we make sure, we promise our users that their content is protected, even if it prevents us to read your discussion and then to send you ads that fit with those discussion. So there is something that cannot happen at Viber, is that you're chatting about your favorite restaurant in Kathmandu with your friends, and then you receive an ad coming from this restaurant. This cannot happen on Viber. This is not possible. It will happen a lot with on Facebook, and even it will happen a lot in Facebook even when you have a chat in your real life, because some app of the Facebook Galaxy are listening to your real life conversation, and we don't do that. And this is something which is very important, because we live in a world where we know that freedom of speech can be challenged sometimes. And I think it's important for users to know that when they are using Viber, nobody is listening their conversation except the people they are discussing with.
It's encrypted.
Sorry, what?
Encrypted.
It is end-to-end encrypted. So which means that not only the transmission is encrypted, which everyone has, but the encryption keys are only on the two devices that are communicating. So we don't have the keys at Viber. We cannot read even if I ask what message you sent yesterday to a friend, I cannot access it because we don't have the keys to read it.
Exactly. So like there are other competitors as well, like such as Facebook, WhatsApp. So what are the features in Viber that you think should be there or should be used in comparison to other kind of like platforms such as Facebook, as I said earlier?
So the security is obviously a big difference. I mean, I think it's clear now that there is no security whatsoever in the Facebook Galaxy, and not only Facebook Messenger, also WhatsApp, because it is now clear they have made it at least official that they are sharing all the information WhatsApp has on users with Facebook, and they're also sharing, basically using the same picture scanning tools that Facebook. So they are basically scanning everything you do. You send a picture, they scan the picture, put that in your profile, and this is the way they work. And it's to be honest, it fits with their revenue model, because they send you ad and they will need to know more about you to send you the best ad and price this ad as high as possible. So a big difference, Viber, we don't do that. We don't scan your pictures, we don't read your chat, we don't listen to your calls. We keep that private. The second type of very different feature is the lenses is a big difference, because on WhatsApp, for example, you won't find this kind of feature. You won't have the ability to send funny lenses. The fintech part is not available is available only in one country for WhatsApp. We are already in 4 countries, and we have the intention to put it in 30. So we have an ambition to become a meta app for our users, an app where you can have fun, where you can consume some news, where you can communicate, and you can send some money to your friends, families, and favorite businesses. And this is a big difference for users.
So talking about users, how do you rate their feedback?
How do we read their
What
feedback?
sort of feedback you get from the users?
Oh, so we are an app. So we live in a world where our app are on 2 stores, and on the 2 stores we have tens of thousands of feedback coming from users every day. This is a big source of feedback from users. Second thing is, at Viber we have a support team which is spread out in the world, in all the time slot, and where we receive feedback directly from users, and we treat them. And we also have a beta users group in different countries, different region, to make sure that every time we try a new feature, we get users' feedback. And the other feedback that we have, it's not a human feedback, it's a data feedback. We do a lot of A/B testing analysis. So every time we try a new feature, we always keep a group of users that don't have this feature to check if there is a difference in terms of usage. So we are very careful with that, and it's very important for us because we don't believe in at Viber, our vision is not that we are going to impose users our vision of the world, and that's what we're trying to do is to, and it's true also country by country. We try, for example, to bring to Nepalese users an app which is close to them, which is filled with local partners, local content, which will be seen as a local app. We don't try to import our culture to the world. We try to understand what users in different countries need, and we try to adjust our product to them, not the contrary.
Mr. Djamel, I would like to go back to again to Viber Lens. Also,
can you give me a second and I close this sun that I have in?
Oh yeah.
Give me a second.
Sure.
Sorry, it's a beautiful day today. It's a beautiful day today, but I had the sun in my eyes. So.
Oh yeah. So let me go back to Viber Lens. So what is next for Viber Lens, and is it also happening in video calls?
So not yet, not in phase one. Phase one, it's videos, images, and GIF. Later on, we will activate it on video calls, but maybe before we will launch before the stories function. So the ability to create stories, short format videos, and then post those videos in places where other people, friends and non-friends, could consume it. So it's a journey. So stay tuned. We will come back to you when we have evolutions. But we start with this phase one with the three functions: images, GIFs, and videos first.
Yeah, I think we'll be waiting for that. For the good news. So how can Nepal's business sector and partners take leverage from Viber lenses?
So it's a great question. It's clear that content can be created by users, and content can be created and offered by businesses. And we intend to offer to local brands the ability to create lenses and to make them available freely for users. So it's an offer that our team on the ground, we have a team in Nepal that will started to discuss with different local brands to offer the possibility to create lenses to not only brands, also celebrities or people that have the intention to create some sort of personal relationship with users, to create lenses and to make them available for users.
Okay, so how do you see the Nepali market when it comes to Viber?
It's as I said, Nepal is a country where we have a long and trustful relationship with users, and it's a relationship that is improving every year. We grew almost 20% last year, so we're very proud and very happy with what's happening in Nepal for Viber, and this is the reason why we're investing in more and more local partnerships. I talked about this partnership in fintech, a company called eSiwa, and then with eSiwa we are proposing to send money to each other on Viber. This is one thing. We also some partnership with some local e-commerce company like Daraz, the e-commerce company that we are using to offer reward to our users on their platform. We had a partnership with the local health authority, especially for COVID-19 news distribution, which is one thing. We also had a partnership with a local telemedicine organization. It's called FNCCI. I don't know if you heard about them. And we also have some cooperation with local artists like Supna Suman that you may know.
Yeah, they're artists. Yeah.
And all this strategy of partnerships, local partnership, is really to bring to our users in Nepal a tool which fits with their daily life, and not a tool which is done in a country that has nothing to see in terms of culture with the Nepalese culture. We really want the Nepalese people to use an app that looks like them, looks like their life, that connects them with their friends, but also with their local businesses and their local celebrities, their local organization. It has to be an app that fits perfectly with the daily life of users. And Nepal is a country where we want to get there because, as I said, we have a very strong penetration. And we don't see, our ambition is very simple in Nepal, is to convince 100% of the adults and, let's say, senior teens to use Viber first. And if I say senior teens, it's because we think at Viber that very young people should not spend too much time on digital platform. It's probably better that they study and they keep and
They focused on studies. Yeah.
Studies, but let's say that for people above 16, our ambition is basically to convince 100% of the people above 16 in Nepal to use Viber as their major communication platform, their first and unique communication platform, because we think we have the exact good tool for them. It's a combination of penetration, security, content capabilities, and usability, and with fintech and features that you can need for your daily life, and all this in an environment which is localized, which is built the Nepalese way and not another way.
Mr. Djamel, like before we wrap up, I have two questions. So, what are your global plans at the moment?
Global plans?
Yeah.
Well, look, we have the same ambition than before. We want to convince every year 10 to 20% more users to get in there, but also our other ambition is to represent, to give more value to our users all around the world. As I said, it's not only about communication. It's about giving our users more reason to use Viber, and to save them more time in their daily needs. And their daily needs can be useful needs, like be in touch with a business, be in touch with a school, be in touch with professionals, or send money, buy something. Or it can be fun needs, like consuming content, consuming news, creating funny augmented reality experiences, and have fun with friends. And those two needs are two chapters of our future. So we invest a lot in what we call in general the fintech solutions, and we will open more and more features. As I said today on Nepal, it's only sending money to each other, but soon it will be to send money to a business, to pay bills in Nepal, and things like this. And in terms of fun, we think that we want to give more opportunities to users to create augmented reality experiences and make the camera in Viber a tool that you are very happy to use just for fun when you have 5 minutes to lose, just to relax. So our ambition is the same everywhere. We have 30 countries in the world, that includes Nepal, where we think that our position and our ambition must be to reach 99% of the people. It's already done in some countries. In some countries like Greece or Ukraine or Russia, Serbia, we are already in this kind of ratio. And there are some other countries like Nepal where we are on the way, and we see ourselves as the main platform for communication, fun, and daily activities. So this is our ambition, basically. So our ambition is it's not only to grow globally, it's also to give more value to our users, especially in the countries where we have such a strong penetration.
So finally, like, do you have to say anything to Nepali users and Nepali partners?
It's very simple. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for trusting us. Thank you for being such loyal users and such great partners. As I said, we have a great relationship with users in Nepal and with a bunch of very good partners, and we are very happy with this relationship that we want to fertilize to get to the next stage. So my only word for them is thank you very much for trusting us, and we'll do our best to fit your expectations.
Thank you so much, Mr. Djamel, for the time.
Thank you. Thank you for your
It
time.
was nice talking to you. So hope I didn't disappoint you.
Of course not.
Yeah, namaste.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Keep safe.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll be in touch.